Hello, Namaskar and Avar to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. We all are worried about what is the purpose of our life, what is the karma that we need to lead, and what is it that we are here for. Now, at a superficial level, at a highest level, we all know that we are here to service the Lord, and we also know that we are here to, through servicing people, we service the Lord, and through that elevate our souls also at a higher level. However, the ascendant that we are born is a very important element, which sometimes the energies of the ascendant is missed. One important thing of understanding what ascendant we are born in and what are the energies is through not only looking at the ascendant that we are born in, but also the 5th and the 9th house energies, which complement the energies of the first house of the lagna or the sign that we are born in. This is because of the 5th house being the house of the sanchita karma, the accumulated karma that we have of all the lives so far, and the prarabdha karma, the chosen karma for this specific life. And so the lagna and the 5th and the 9th houses being also the trine houses, and in a way also being the strong pillars or the foundation of the horoscope, the complementing energies of all the three are the ones which manifest what we are here for, and that is one of the important things to understand the reason that we are here. One of the reasons also is because all the three will have the same energies of either the Dharma bhava, the Artha bhava, the Kama bhava and the Moksha bhava. And so the first 5 and 9 houses also considered to be one of the most important ones, one of the most gain bringing ones, and one of the most significant ones also. And these houses also play a very important part in various important yogas also. For example, the 9th house plays a very important role in the Lakshmi yoga as well as the Dharma Karma Adhipati yoga, for example. And so how do we understand the deeper meaning of the ascendant that we are born in? First is not only look at the energies of the ascendant and the 5th and the 9th houses, but also look at the nakshatra energies of these three houses bearing the ascendant that we are born in. So, bearing what is the specific degree of the ascendant, we would also know what is the nakshatra that we are born in at an ascendant level. Now, this is a different nakshatra from the actual nakshatra which is represented by the nakshatra in which moon falls in at the time of the birth. That gives you a more open choice of what we can do, how our thinking will be, and there are more choices given here. However, the ascendant nakshatra is what we chained in the karma that we will not be able to escape from. But that ascendant karma, ascendant nakshatra and the 5th and the 9th house nakshatras put together, energies nakshatras put together, that is the main karma you need to play out, and you are given the choices by virtue of where the moon is placed in which nakshatra, and using that energies, more choices is given to you, more options are given to you, how you use your mind, how you use your manas. However, the nakshatra energy that you are chained in, the karma that you are chained in are the 1st, 5th and 9th houses by virtue of what signs they are, they rule, and which nakshatra they are specifically fall in. So, basis which is the specific degree that of the nakshatra of the ascendant, that will give you a specific nakshatra you are falling in. So, for example, if you are born in the Aries sign, if you are born in the first 13 degrees, then you fall in the Aries nakshatra. But if you are born between the 13 degrees and 26 degrees and 40 minutes to be precise, then you fall in the Bharani nakshatra. Basis which nakshatra you fall in, you will find the complementing nakshatra in the 5th and the 9th houses also have the same energies. So, if you are born in a nakshatra of the ascendant which is ruled by a certain planet, say Venus, then you will find that the complementing nakshatras at the same degree which the ascendant degree is. If you look at the same degree of the 5th house, that will also be in a nakshatra which is ruled by the same planet which rules the nakshatra of the ascendant, and the same planet which will also rule the nakshatra in which the 9th sign lies. And so, using the complementary of these three specific energies of the nakshatras at a deeper meaning, and what pada you are born in, by virtue of which at the specific degree which pada you are born in, which part of the nakshatra you are born in, that will also manifest very strongly what karma you have to do, how you have to manifest your life, and what is the overall meaning, a deeper meaning of the the nakshatra that you're born in and the ascendant you're born in. And so at a deeper meaning, your ascendant that you're born in has a very, very deeper manifestation, and knowing that is critical to your existence, and knowing whether you're headed in the right direction and how to head in the right direction and doing what. So let's jump into ascendant wise, looking at a specific degree of the nakshatra energies of the 1st, 5th and 9th houses and 9 signs, what specific nakshatras they can fall in, looking at some examples, and what are the planets which rule those complementing nakshatras, and what specific pada you fall in, and through all of the put together, what is the deeper manifestation, using examples for each of the specific signs. So let's jump right into it, starting with the Aries ascendant first. We all know that we are born in either of the 4 houses or 4 types of houses. Either we are born in the Dharma or the Artha or the Kama or the Moksha houses, which means that if you are born in the Dharma house, then one of the important areas of life that you need to focus on or live your life by is Dharma or duty. But if you are born in the Artha house or the house of money and material resources, then it is materialism or money or acquiring money which becomes an important area of your life, which has an important focus on. Third, if you are born in an chasing your desires, chasing your dreams, chasing your hopes and wishes, and putting an effort to acquire them, becomes one of the important and primary manifestations of your life. However, if you are born in the 4th house or 4th type of house, which is the Moksha house, which means your entire life has to be dedicated to salvation and to serve others. Now, what is the deeper meaning of being born in a Dharma house? Now, we also all know that the Lagna, which is the ascendant you are born in, is also a trine house apart from being a Kendra house. And the other 2 trine houses, the 5th and the 9th houses, are also very important. By virtue of the 5th house being the house of Sanchita Karma, your accumulated karma so far, and the 9th house being the house of your Prarabdha Karma, which is the karma identified for you to live out in this particular life. And so the first 5 and 9 have important meaning in not only your birth but also your purpose of life and towards salvation itself. If you look at the deeper meaning of being born, say for example in the Dharma house, it means that the first house being important and the Lagna, how you carry yourself, how you manage yourself, how you are seen in society, what kind of principles you live by, because of which you attain a certain status or stature in society is important. And then the other Dharma house is the house of learning, education, and the third Dharma house is the house of higher learning, religion and your duty, which means if you are living your life by Dharma, then it's important that you need to ensure that your life is guided by duty and a sense of responsibility rather than materialism. However, if you are born in the second type of house, in the Artha house, for example, if you are born either in Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn signs, then you are born in an Artha house. Then you need to chase materialism in your life. However, the 6th house, which is the Artha house, which is ruled by the sign of Virgo, is a sign of service, which means that the principles of the Taurus sign is what you will be guided by your life by. So chasing materialism, chasing money, but living your life by principles and values and not shirking them is important. And having the mindset of service, which the other Artha Bhava, which Virgo represents. So even if you are chasing materialism in your life, you are chasing money, but doing so only by virtue of leading your life with principles and values is important, and with a service mindset is important. And the third Artha Bhava is the sign of Capricorn, which is to work within boundaries, to be disciplined, to be dedicated, to be loyal, to be committed, and to be ready to put in long hours, hard hours of work before success comes to you. So just by being born in a certain type of house without understanding the deeper manifestation of the house will not help you, and that's why many times we don't get success in lives, because we don't understand the deeper manifestation of the type of house that we are born in. Third, if you are born in a Kama house, what is the first Kama house? The first Kama house is the third house, but the third house is also the house of self-enterprise and hard work and effort, which means that in chasing your desires, in chasing your wishes, in chasing what you like to do or what you want to attain, hard work is the basis or the foundation on the basis of which you will attain your wishes and desires. The second Kama house is the seventh house. The seventh house is the house of companionship, of partnerships, building relationships, which means that in chasing your desires, in chasing your wishes, in chasing what will fulfill you, you need to ensure that you are guided by relationships. You don't sacrifice relationships, partnerships at the altar of making money or chasing your desires. So putting in hard work, putting in effort, putting in self-enterprise, going against the norm, going against the flow, and making partnerships, fruitful partnerships, win-win partnerships, and working with relationships, not shirking relationships, is important. And the third Kama house is the sign of Aquarius. What is the sign of Aquarius? The sign of Aquarius is solutions, finding solutions at the world level, at a large mass level, and for society. So building important societal connections, building a social network, and through hard work and through relationships and partnerships and working with others, trying and solving, and through service solving the problems at a larger level, going beyond your house, going beyond your locality, going beyond your city, and looking at yourself as a world citizen and thinking of the world at large rather than just your neighborhood, is the third Kama house, which is represented by the sign of Aquarius. So if somebody is born in the Kama bhav but does not understand the deeper manifestation of the Kama bhav, then obviously the desires fulfillment of that native will not come true. You may desire a certain relationship, you may desire certain material success, you may desire a beautiful house, you may desire political success, you may desire social celebrity status, but none of that will come to you if you are not ready to work hard, not ready to build relationships, and not ready to look at a world level, at a mass level, at a social level, and helping others. And the last one, what is the deeper manifestation of the Moksha Bhava? The Moksha Bhavas are represented by the sign of Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. All of them are water signs, and all of them are very important signs which connect you to the Grihasthashram, connect you to obstacles, upheavals and challenges, and connect you to let go of the Pisces sign, which means do your duty towards your family, towards others, face upheavals, face challenges, face obstacles, but be ready to submit to the will of the Lord, to the highest energy, to the supreme energy, and only then will moksha come to you, salvation come to you. And this is the deeper manifestation of being born in a certain type of house, whether you are born in a Dharma house, Artha house, or Kama house, or Moksha house. Now, if you delve deeper further into what sign you are born in and what is the deeper manifestation of, say for example, the Aries sign, the Dharma Bhava, then you need to look into the DNA of your birth or your existence, which is the star system, which is the Nakshatra system. Now each of these signs is divided into or made up of at least 2 nakshatras and some part of the third nakshatra. And hence the 12 signs of the zodiac are divided into or made up of 27 nakshatras, starting from Ashwini and ending with the Revati nakshatra. So if somebody is born in the Aries sign, what is most important is to be seen is what is the degree of the ascendant. Now Aries sign starts from 0 degrees and ends at the 30th degree. And the next sign, Taurus, starts from the 30 degrees onwards and ends at the 60th degree. Now each sign is further divided into 9 parts. The first Nakshatra Ashwini is made up of 4 parts and is constituted by 13 degrees 20 minutes. The second Nakshatra of Bharani has the next 4 parts out of these 9 parts that Aries is divided into, and constitutes the next 13 degrees 20 minutes, which means starting from 13 degrees 20 minutes it extends up to 26 degrees and 40 minutes. And the last part or the 9th part of the Aries sign is made of the first pada of the next nakshatra, which is Kritika. So the Aries sign is made up of 2 nakshatras, Ashwini and Bharani, and very small part of 1 pada or of 3 degrees and 20 minutes of the Kritika nakshatra. So basis which degree you are born in, or what is the degree of your ascendant, you will fall in a certain nakshatra basis your ascendant. Here we are not talking about the Janma nakshatra, which is formed by where your moon lies, or which nakshatra your moon lies at the time of your birth. Here we are talking about the ascendant nakshatra. The nakshatra that moon lies in will give you your thought process, your thinking ability, and which is the freedom given to you. However, the chains of karma which is put on to you, the responsibilities which are put on to you, is by virtue of the ascendant you are born in. And so if you are born in the Aries sign, the degree of the ascendant becomes very important. If you are born between 0 degrees to 13 degrees 20 minutes in the sign of Aries, then obviously your ascendant nakshatra falls in the Ashwini nakshatra. Then your rule or the ascendant is ruled by, or the chains of moksha or karma are guided by the Ashwini nakshatra. But if you are born between the 13 degrees 20 minutes and 26 degrees and 40 minutes, then obviously you will fall in the next nakshatra, which is the Bharani nakshatra, and your ascendant is guided by the Bharani nakshatra. However, if you are born post 26 degrees 20 minutes till 30th degree of Aries, then you fall in the third nakshatra of Aries, which is Kritika, and in the first pada. So basis which degree of Aries you are born in, you will be born, your ascendant will be guided by that nakshatra specifically. So when your horoscope is made, even the online horoscopes, it will not only tell you what nakshatra the moon is in, but it will also tell you what is the nakshatra of the ascendant, and it will tell you what is the nakshatra of the different planets. So it will not tell you the nakshatra of the other houses. The only information which is given on the online horoscopes is the nakshatra of the moon and the nakshatra of the ascendant, or what degree the ascendant lies in. So basis that, first find out what nakshatra your ascendant is. Now if you are born in Aries sign, which means that your first sign is of Aries, then the 5th house is ruled by Leo and the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, which means that your first house, 5th house and 9th house are all guided by the Dharma bhavas, or the Dharma type of bhavas. So the manifestation of life will be the Dharma energies. But because you are going into the DNA analysis at a deeper level, what nakshatra you are born in is important. So if you are born between the 0 degrees of Ashwini to 13 degrees 20 minutes, then you being born in the Ashwini nakshatra, which means that the 5th house nakshatra which guides your life will be in complementing what the Ashwini nakshatra represents. Because the Ashwini nakshatra is the first nakshatra of Aries, then the 5th house that you are born in, or the 5th house energies, will be of the Magha nakshatra, whereas the 9th house energies will be of the Mula nakshatra. So then the chains of karma, the chains of the life or the purpose of life will be guided by these nakshatras, which is the Ashwini nakshatra, the Magha nakshatra and the Mula nakshatra. If you look deep down into each of these, you will find that Ashwini is ruled by Ketu, Magha nakshatra is also ruled by Ketu, and the Mula nakshatra is also ruled by Ketu, which means your life is guided by the Ketu energies rather than any other energies. So What is important is for you to be able to understand how Ketu is placed in what house Ketu is placed, and that will manifest itself strongest apart from the nakshatra that moon is in. So if you are born in the Ashwini nakshatra, then the 5th house energies is of Magha and the 9th house of energies is Mula. However, if you are born beyond the 13 degrees 20 minutes of Aries sign, but up till the 26 degrees and 40 minutes, say for example you are born in the 20th degree of Aries, then you fall, your ascendant nakshatra falls in the Bharani, and so then the 5th house energies will be guided by the Purva Falguni nakshatra, whereas the 9th house energies will be of the Purva Ashara nakshatra. Now each of these signs, Bharani nakshatra is ruled by Venus, the Purva Falguni nakshatra is also ruled by Venus, and the Purva Ashara nakshatra is also ruled by Venus. So which means that while you are born in a Dharma Bhava, but your nakshatra has the Venus energies. And so the life will be guided by, or various times of life you will be tested by, or you will face challenges by, or you will get opportunities more related to the manifestations of Venus, which means your lifestyle, money matters, intimacy, opposite gender, what kind of life, what quality of life you live, all of this will become important. So while being born in Dharma but having the Venus energies will be what will be guiding you most of your life. And if you don't do a deeper analysis at the nakshatra levels to find out what is the 1st house energies, 5th house energies and 9th house energies at a nakshatra level, then you will be blindsided, because you may assume that you are born in a Dharma nakshatra of doing your duty, but not knowing at a deeper level you have the Venus energies. So where is the Dharma? The Dharma, while being born in Aries, is towards the manifestation or areas of Venus, which means treating the opposite gender well, treating women with more respect, being guided by treating others well, especially the opposite gender, being balanced in how you live your life, how much you chase materialism, how much you chase intimacy, and building fruitful partnerships with others. Because Venus also rules the 2nd house of Taurus, which represents principles, which means while doing your dharma you should also not let go of principles. And because the Bharani nakshatra is a Rajasic nakshatra, the Purva Falguni nakshatra is also Rajasic nakshatra, also Purva Ashara is a Rajasic nakshatra. So having a Rajasic life without, while you sacrifice the dharma part, will be leading to your downfall, and so this is very, very important. So Venus becomes very important part of your life while you are doing your duty. So while you are born in Aries, and Mars becomes an important planet for you by virtue of ruling your ascendant, but Venus is also very, very important planet because it rules the nakshatra energies that you are living by. And so while you being born in Aries sign, if you are born in Aries sign, keep in mind specifically what nakshatra energies that you have and be led by it. The third, and even at a deeper level of the Aries energies, is about which pada you are born in. I have given some deeper meaning when I have done one nakshatra so far about Ashwini. I am going to do the deeper manifestation of the other nakshatras in detail later on. However, right now, because we are talking about your nakshatra energy, so in which pada you are born in, if you are born in the Bharani nakshatra at your ascendant level. So within Bharani, if you are born in the Aries ascendant and you are born between 13 degrees 20 minutes and 26 degrees and 40 minutes, which means you are born in the Ashwini nakshatra as an ascendant, we are not talking about the moon nakshatra here, then look at which specifically which pada you are lying in. For example, the first pada of Bharani is the Leo pada, or is ruled by the Leo sign energies. The second is ruled by Virgo, the third is ruled by Libra, and the fourth is ruled by the Scorpio energies. So specifically which pada you are falling in will obviously at a deeper level guide your life, or will regularly force you to look up and take notice and be given opportunities, obstacles, challenges and most of your most important choices, the most of your most important decisions, most of your life's most bigger obstacles, all will be somehow or the other connected to that specific pada that you are born in, to the specific nakshatra which the ascendant rules, and the specific sign that you are born in, and the nakshatra of the moon, and the pada of the nakshatra that moon is. Without getting into the deeper manifestation of this, you will not know what is your purpose of life, what are the chains of karma that you are binded by, and how you are supposed to lead your life by. So if you are born in the Aries sign, keep in mind and do a deeper analysis of which nakshatra your ascendant is, and basis that which is the 5th and 9th nakshatra, which pada you are born in. Obviously, if you are born in the second pada of Bharani, then the second pada of Purva Falguni and the second pada Purva Ashara become important for you. And all three, if you take deeper notice, you will find they are all Virgo padas, which means that while you are leading your life, the Virgo energies of service, the Virgo energies of deep analysis, the Virgo energies of trying and leading your life without letting or being overcome by emotions, and using data, using facts, and using your analytical ability to lead your life with principles, and treating the opposite gender well, and carrying the Aries energies and chasing your goals, doing your dharma is important. And that is the deeper meaning and manifestation of the Aries energies if you are born in the Aries sign. And that is the deeper meaning if you are born in the Aries sign at a nakshatra level. Now if you are born in the Taurus sign and your ascendant is of Taurus, which means that you are either born in the Kritika Nakshatra or the Rohini Nakshatra or the Mrigashira Nakshatra, which are the three nakshatras which make up the Taurus sign. Now, while the Taurus sign represents the Artha energies, what is most important is that the Taurus sign also represents principles and values. So, leading your life by the principles and values is important. However, at a deeper meaning, the 5th and the 9th houses for a Taurus ascendant native are ruled by Virgo and Capricorn respectively. And hence, while you lead your life with principles and values in chasing materialism or gathering artha or money, keeping in mind the service orientation of Virgo, using analytical ability, using your thinking ability, using the choices that Mercury allows you to make, and intelligent choices, educated choices is important, while having a service mindset and having the dedication, the foresight, and the organizational energies of Capricorn are very, very important. So if you are born in the Taurus sign, keep in mind that the 5th house energies for Virgo and the 9th house energies of Capricorn are critical for you, and these three energies guide your life. However, what is the specific degree of the ascendant? If the specific degree of your ascendant is more than 20 degrees, then you will fall in the Rohini Nakshatra. So if it's between 20th degree and 26 degrees, for example, then you will fall in the Rohini Nakshatra in the sign of Taurus. So if your ascendant nakshatra is Rohini, it is ruled by the moon. Then when you look at what is the 5th house nakshatra specifically related to that ascendant degree, and if you calculate, say for example, the 21st degree, if you are born in the 21st degree of Taurus, then you will fall in the Rohini Nakshatra as part of your ascendant. So the 21st degree in the Virgo sign will be that of the Hasta Nakshatra, and Hasta is also ruled by the moon. And then the 9th house energies at the 21st degree is ruled by the Shravana Nakshatra, which is also ruled by the moon, which means that while you are born in the Taurus sign but being born in the Rohini Nakshatra as part of the ascendant degrees, the 5th and the 9th house energies are also of the ruled by moon by virtue of having the fifth house energies of Hasta and Shravana respectively. So moon constituting service, moon constituting nourishment, emotions. This means that while you chase the materialism of Taurus with principles and values, nourishing others, servicing others and being emotionally intelligent is very, very important, because you are ruled by the moon energies. And this is a deeper manifestation also, because your moon nakshatra will also complement the energies by virtue of the ascendant energies and the fifth house energies and the ninth house energies also being ruled by the moon. And hence, if you are born in the Taurus sign, the nakshatra energies that you are ruled by are of the Rohini, Hasta and the Shravana nakshatras, each one of them which is ruled by moon. And so nourishment, servicing others, being emotionally intelligent and not being led by emotions but being led by analysis, structure, working hard, working long hours, working with dedication, which Capricorn represents, is important. However, at a deeper level, at a deeper meaning, which pada you are born within the Rohini nakshatra will be important. So if you are born in the first pada of the Rohini nakshatra, which means, say for example, if you are born in the 15th degree, if you are born in the 15th degree in Taurus, then you will be born in the first pada of the Rohini nakshatra. Of the Rohini nakshatra, then you are ruled by the Aries sign energies. Then the first pada of Hasta also is the Aries sign energies. And the first pada of Shravana also has the Aries sign energies. And having the Aries sign energies, it means that showing the go-getting spirit, the goal orientation and chasing materialism but with principles and your values, and while nourishing others but with high energy, high motivation, high goal orientation, and not letting off your goals is the main energy which you are ruled by. And so if you are born in the Taurus sign, at a deeper level understand what is the nakshatra energies, what is the ruler, what is the deity ruling those specific nakshatras, which will be complemented by the first house, fifth house and the ninth house energies, then what pada you are born in, and to be led by those. However, if you are not born in the 21st degree of Taurus, but if you are born in the 27th degree of Taurus, then obviously you are born in the Mrigashira nakshatra. And similarly, then rather than having the fifth house energies of Hasta, you will have the fifth house energies of Chitra in Virgo. And similarly, the ninth house energies of Capricorn will not be Shravana but that of Dhanishta. And Mrigashira, Chitra and Dhanishta are all ruled by Mars rather than Moon. So then Mars becomes an important planet for you apart from Venus, which rules Taurus. So most of your life you will find that Mars energies, assertiveness, go-getting spirit will guide your life. And then at the deeper level, check on what is the pada, specific degree in which you are born in Taurus, and based on that, which is the pada. If you are born in the 25th degree of Taurus, then you will be born in the Leo part of Mrigashira. And similarly, the complementing energies in Chitra will also be the first pada or the Leo sign energies, and the complementing energies of the ninth house will also be the first pada of Dhanishta, which has the Leo sign energies, which means that showing leadership, showing aggression of Mars while leading your life with principles and values and basis doing service to others and with structure and organization is the manifestation and the approach for a Taurus ascendant native. So keep in mind, and this is the deeper manifestation for a Taurus ascendant native by virtue of the nakshatra energies. Now for a Gemini ascendant native, if within Gemini you are born in the first 3 degrees, then the ascendant for Gemini is the third degrees, and so the fifth and the ninth house energies will also be the third degree energies. Now, which is the nakshatra in which the third degree of Gemini appears? And that comes in the Mrigashira Nakshatra. So, which is the complementing fifth and ninth sign energies? So, if the third degree of Gemini is ruled by the Mrigashira Nakshatra, then the ascendant is has the Mrigashira energies. Then the third degree of the fifth house, which is Libra, is the Chitra Nakshatra. And the ninth house or ninth sign energies for Aquarius is also the Dhanishta Nakshatra. So, Gemini being born in the Gemini Nakshatra, Gemini ascendant in the third degree, being born in the Mrigashira Nakshatra, and having the complementing energies of the fifth house is of the Chitra and of the Dhanishta Nakshatra in Aquarius, which means that you will be guided by the Kama energies which Gemini represents, being a Kama Bhava, which means chasing your desires, but with the energies of Mars, which rules the Mrigashira, the Chitra and the Dhanishta Nakshatras. So, Gemini represents the communication, the hard work, the enterprise. So, having your communication or communicating and developing an understanding with others with the relationship which Libra represents of the fifth house, and trying to solve the problems at a societal level which is represented by Aquarius is important, and at a deeper level using the energies of Mars, of the Mrigashira Nakshatra, of the Chitra Nakshatra and the Dhanishta Nakshatra important. Now we can go further at a deeper analysis, watch the three complementing energies of Mrigashira, Libra and Dhanishta represents, but that will be for some other video where we will dive deeper into the Gemini energies. Then checking on which pada you are born in within the Mrigashira Nakshatra is important. So if you are born in the second pada, in the fourth pada of Mrigashira, which has the Scorpio energies, then the complementing energies of the Chitra Nakshatra is also the Scorpio region of Chitra and the Scorpio region of Dhanishta Nakshatra also. And Scorpio is also ruled by Mars, which means not being unhinged by obstacles, challenges, problems, by helping others, by communicating with others, by building relationships and trying to solve the problems of others at a societal level, at a mass level, at a world level, and helping others face obstacles, challenges, issues, and to go through a transformation not only in your life, in your mindset, but also help others who are going through transformational energies, through upheavals or issues or challenges, and through that being guided and being led by life is the energies of the ascendant, being that of Gemini. So if you're born in the Gemini ascendant, do a deep dive of what is the degree of the ascendant and what is the specific nakshatra which that degree falls in, what is the pada it falls in. Then look at the complementary energies of the pada and the nakshatra of the fifth house of Libra and the ninth house of Aquarius, and then understand what is the deeper manifestation, the meaning and the change of karma that you are led in, and the choices that you are allowed by the nakshatra in which the moon is. And this is the deeper manifestation at a fifth house, ninth house and the first house nakshatra level energies for a Gemini ascendant native. Now if you are born in the Cancer ascendant, then being born in the sign of Moksha, so your life will be guided by Moksha, your life will be guided by salvation, which means that while you carry the energies of Cancer, the fifth house energies and the ninth house energies of the Sanchita karma and the Prarabdha karma are also of the other two Moksha bhavas, which is Scorpio and Pisces, represented by water energies, the fluid energies. And so using your emotions, using your nourishment and using your caring abilities and emotionally intelligent abilities represented by Cancer becomes important, and using the Cancer energies to lead your life of transformation represented by Scorpio and submission to the will of the Lord, which is represented by Pisces, is critical here. Now, do a deep dive to understand what is the degree at which the Cancer ascendant lies. If the Cancer ascendant lies in the 5th degree in Cancer, then the 5th degree in Cancer sign lies in the Pushya Nakshatra. Then the 5th degree of Scorpio and Pisces becomes important. The 5th degree of Scorpio lies in the Anuradha Nakshatra, and the 5th degree in Pisces lies in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. And hence, knowing that the Pushya Nakshatra is ruled by Saturn, the Anuradha Nakshatra is also ruled by Saturn, and the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra is also ruled by Saturn, which means that while doing the manifestation of the Cancer sign, nourishing others, taking care of others and helping others, but with the duty and dedication represented by Saturn, being ready to push the boundaries but work within rules and regulations, taking care of others, being emotionally intelligent, helping others in their emotional upheavals is very, very important. Because the Pushya Nakshatra is also a Dharma Nakshatra, the Anuradha Nakshatra is also the Dharma Nakshatra, at the same time also having the Saturn energies. And so, chasing Dharma means doing your duty while being caring, while being nourishing, with the duties and the organized and structured and the long and hard work energies represented by Saturn are important. And at a deeper level, see which particular pada you are born in. So if you are born in the 5th degree in the Cancer sign, then you are falling in the first pada of the Pushya Nakshatra. The first pada of the Pushya Nakshatra has the Leo energies, and so the complementing energies for you in the Scorpio sign will also be the first pada of Anuradha, which also has Leo energies, and the first pada of Uttara Bhadrapada, which also has the Leo energies. So it means showing the leadership while being nourishing, while putting long hours, dedicated hours, organized effort in doing your duty, and through that attaining salvation and being in the chains of that karma is the deeper manifestation for the Cancer native if you are born in the Cancer ascendant, and that is the deeper meaning and manifestation for a Cancer ascendant native. If you are born in the Leo sign and your ascendant is Leo, then the 5th house energies and the 9th house energies are Sagittarius and Aries respectively. All the three are the Dharma Bhavas. So doing a duty is critical in leading your life. Now check which is the specific degree of the ascendant. If the ascendant degree, say for example, is the 10th degree, then the 10th degree of the Leo ascendant falls in the Magha Nakshatra, which is ruled by Ketu. Then the complementing energies of the 10th degree in Sagittarius falls in the Mula Nakshatra, and the 10th degree in the 9th house of the Aries sign falls in the Ashwini Nakshatra. So which means that while being born in the Leo ascendant, the energies at a nakshatra level is the 5th house, 9th and the 1st house are guided by the Magha Nakshatra, the Mula Nakshatra and the Ashwini Nakshatras respectively. Now being ruled by Ketu, which means that leading your life for others while showing the leadership of Leo, carrying your life with principles and with self-respect and with pride which Leo represents is important. And Ketu means that you have already put the flag or the dhwaja in that area of life earlier, and so which means this particular life is the life which you do and dedicate for others rather than for yourself. And Magha is also represented by the throne, the palanquin, and so while being seated on the throne or the palanquin, or the power and authority or the influence that is given to you in this life should be used for others rather than for yourself. And your life should be led by leadership for others, and in doing that, showing leadership and carrying yourself with pride is the chains of karma and karma for you. Now if you do a deeper dive for Leo, and if you are born in the 6th degree of Magha, being born in the 6th degree of Leo, you will follow in the Magha Nakshatra. See which pada it is in. You will find that the 6th degree in Leo in the Magha Nakshatra falls in the 2nd pada, which is represented by the Taurus energies. Then the complementing energies of Mula in the 6th degree will also be the Taurus sign energies, and the complementing energies of the 2nd pada in the Ashwini Nakshatra also the Taurus sign energies, which means the Taurus energies are also that of principles and values and using your language and your communication ability. So showing leadership of Leo, showing the giving up and doing things for others represented by Ketu, and leading your life with principles and values and using your communication skills to do things for others is the chains of the karma that you're tied in, and you'll manifest and you're supposed to manifest those, while the choices that you are given to you is the nakshatra in which the moon falls in at the time of your birth. So if you're born in the Leo ascendant, please do a deeper dive at which degree your ascendant is, what are the nakshatra energies you are ruled by, and what specific pada they fall in, and use those energies to lead your life accordingly, because that is the deeper manifestation and meaning of the ascendant that you are born in. Now if you are born in the Virgo ascendant, then your 5th house energies and your 9th house energies are represented by Capricorn and Taurus sign respectively. Now Virgo is the sign of analysis and using analytical ability, and being ruled by Mercury, using intelligence to be able to lead your life through analysis rather than being led by emotions, and be using data and information and being guided by an eye for detail, an eye for perfection, and trying to get the best work out of your life, and through that nature or through that manifestation try and contribute more to the life that you lead. Now check what is the degree of the ascendant. So if you're born in the Virgo ascendant, check on which is the degree that you're born in, and if you're born in the 9th degree of Virgo, then check which nakshatra does the 9th degree of Virgo fall in. You will find that the 9th degree of the Virgo sign falls in the Uttara Falguni Nakshatra ruled by Sun. Then the complementing energies of the 5th house of the 9th degree will also be of the Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra and the Kritika Nakshatra respectively. So in the 9th degree of Virgo falling in the Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, if the ascendant, the 5th house having the Uttara Ashadha energies of the Sun and the Kritika energies in the 9th house again ruled by Sun, which means Sun represents the soul, and hence the soul is tied to, or the soul's journey or the soul's manifestation being ruled by the Virgo ascendant is through a deeper meaning of analysis, analytical ability, purpose, using data, not being led by emotions, but by being led by service, and doing a sign of service or doing or working in in the direction of service or dedicating your life to service is also the soul's journey, as the nakshatra that you are born in is represented by the sun, as well as the 5th house energies of the Sanchita karma and the 9th house energies of the Prarabdha karma. So sun representing your soul and being born in the Virgo sign, showing leadership in service to others, in helping others with the dedication and the organized and the structured manifestation of Capricorn, and with the principles and values that the Taurus sign represents is the deeper meaning. Being born in the Virgo sign in the 9th degree. However, if you look at what pada you are born in the 9th degree, you will find that you fall in the Pisces sign part of the Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. Similarly, the 9th degree Uttarashadha Nakshatra will also be represented by the Pisces sign energies, and similarly the 9th degree in the Kritika Nakshatra also has the Pisces sign energies of the 4th pada each, and hence being born in the Virgo ascendant in the Uttara Falguni Nakshatra ruled by sun and having the complementary energies of the Uttarashadha and the Kritika Nakshatra, all three ruled by sun, and at a deeper level having the Pisces sign energies, which means Pisces is the sign of letting go or giving up or submitting. So doing your service and your soul manifesting a life of service to others with the organized, structured, dedicated effort of Capricorn and with principles and values of Taurus, and with a work manifestation of doing your work and then leaving it to the supreme energy and submitting to the will of the supreme energy represented by the Pisces sign energies is important, because Pisces sign energy is also letting go and submission. So do your karma, do your work, do your service, show leadership in doing that, do it with principles and respect that sun and pride which sun represents, but the giving up energies and letting go energies of Pisces, and still being grateful and being happy with whatever the supreme energy gives to you in return is the sign energies and the deeper manifestation of the Virgo ascendant if you are born in the Virgo sign. If you are born in the Libra ascendant, then first check at what degrees the ascendant lies. Basis that degree, you will be able to see what is the complementing degree in the 5th house and the 9th house respectively. Firstly, the Libra energies are that of managing relationships, partnerships, and through managing relationships and partnerships, manifesting the karma of your life, the deeper meaning of your life. The 5th and the 9th house energies for a Libra ascendant native are the Aquarius energies and the Gemini ascendant energies respectively. Libra being a Kama Bhav, the house of trying to fulfill your wishes and desires, and so being Aquarius and Gemini, which means that chasing your desires, chasing what you want to do in life, and the larger goals are important. But with relationships, with teamwork, with partnerships, and with a win-win for both the sides. With the 5th house being the Aquarius energies, it is important that you also looking at solving or helping solve the larger problems of society using your social network and your friend circles, your larger social network, to be able to look beyond your immediate city, look beyond your immediate neighborhood, and try and do something at a larger world level. Look at the larger challenges of society and trying to help manifest them, solve them with partnerships, with companionship, with teamwork, and with a balance which the Libra sign energies represents. And the 9th sign energies being that of Gemini, which means using your communication skills, which using your hard work and self-enterprise to be able to follow your karma, to do your karma of managing and solving the world's large problems of the world, social challenges, social problems, helping others gain and lead better lives, and through relationships, partnerships which the Libra sign energies represent, and with a balance of what you need and what you want. This is at a higher level of what the Libra sign energies and the 5th and the 9th sign energies represent. However, if you look at the specific degrees of the ascendant of Libra, say if you're born at the 27th degree of Libra, then you will find at the 27th degree, check which is the Nakshatra which the 27th degree of Libra falls in. You will find that the 27th degree of Libra sign falls in the Nakshatra of Vishaka. Then check what is the 27th degree in the Aquarius sign and the 27th degree in the Gemini sign. You will find that the 27th degree in the Aquarius sign falls in the Nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada and the Punarvasu respectively. Now, knowing that the 27th degree of Libra falls in Vishaka, which is ruled by Jupiter, and the 5th house energies being that of Purva Bhadrapada also being ruled by Jupiter, and the 9th of energies of Punarvasu also being ruled by Jupiter, it means that being led by a life of having a large heart, being a giving person, using your wisdom and using the higher manifestation and higher learning and education to solve society's larger challenges, to focus on society's deeper challenges, deeper issues, and solving the problems by virtue of using your relationships, by building, using teamwork, with companionship and with a balance. And that is the deeper meaning of being born in the Libra ascendant native at the 27th degree of the ascendant being the Vishaka Nakshatra and complemented by the Purva Bhadrapada and the Punarvasu Nakshatras, all three ruled by Jupiter. So keep in mind that if you are born in the Libra sign, these are the deeper manifestations of the chains of karma or what you are expected to manifest in this life. However, looking at which is the pada you are born in, specifically at the 27th degree in Vishaka, you will find that the 27th degree of Vishaka, you fall in the third pada of Vishaka. The third pada of Vishaka is also ruled by the Gemini energies. And so the complementing third pada of Purva Bhadrapada is also ruled by Gemini, and the third pada of Punarvasu is also ruled by the Gemini energies respectively. And so using your communication skills, using the hard work, self-enterprise and reaching out to others, and using how you brand yourself, how you communicate with people, how you market yourself as a person who is ready to help others, who is ready to look at society's larger challenges with building companionships, with partnerships, with effective teamwork, with a balance in life, is what at a deeper level being born in the 27th degree of Vishaka Nakshatra in the sign of Libra represents, having the complementary energies of being born in the Gemini portion of Vishaka, Purva Bhadrapada and Punarvasu Nakshatras respectively. And this is the deeper meaning and manifestation of being born in the Libra ascendant native. Now, if you are born in the Scorpio ascendant, in the sign of Scorpio, then the 5th house energies for a Scorpio ascendant native is the Pisces energies, and the 9th house energies are the Cancer energies. The 5th house being the house of Sanchita Karma and the 9th house energies being the house of the Prarabdha Karma. So since the ascendant follows what your karma in life is, and the 5th house and 9th house respectively are for Sanchita Karma and the Prarabdha Karma, and hence the three nakshatras in which the ascendant and the 5th and the 9th house are represented is important. So at a more superficial level, Scorpio is the sign of overcoming upheavals, overcoming obstacles and understanding the deeper meaning of life and helping others at a deeper obstacle level, deeper challenge level and issues level is what the Scorpio energies represent. And using the energies of Pisces, which means giving up, submitting to the will of the Lord, submitting to the higher will of the supreme energy and still being grateful, while working for others, by helping others in the obstacles, overcoming obstacles, and desiring to give up for the self to attain the higher self is the meaning of being born in the Scorpio ascendant, with the 5th house energies being that of Pisces, and the 9th house energies being of Cancer, which means nourishing others, helping others, servicing others, and being emotionally intelligent, not being overly emotional, but being balanced in emotional and nourishing others, helping others, and servicing others who are themselves feeling obstacles or facing issues and obstacles in life. If you check the specific degree of the ascendant that you're born in, and if you're born in the 10th degree of Scorpio, then you are born in the Virgo sign energies in the Nakshatra of Anuradha. So then the complementing Nakshatra in the 5th house is the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra ruled by Saturn, and the Pushya Nakshatra ruled by Saturn of the Cancer sign. So which means that being born in the Anuradha Nakshatra with is the ascendant being of the 10th degree and falling in the Anuradha Nakshatra ruled by Saturn, which means leading a life of helping others in the obstacles, in the challenges and the issues, and submitting to the will of the higher energy through nourishing and helping others with the dedication, commitment, and organized and structured, and the patient and the perseverance energy of Saturn is at a deeper meaning of the ascendant that you are born in. However, at a more deeper level, at the DNA level, the 10th degree in the Scorpio sign falls in the 3rd pada of Anuradha, which is ruled by the Virgo energies. And similarly, the corresponding pada in Pisces as well as in Cancer will be the Virgo energies in the 2nd pada of Pisces and the 2nd pada of Pushya Nakshatra respectively. The 2nd pada but of Virgo energies in Anuradha Nakshatra, in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra and the Pushya Nakshatra mean that having the Virgo energies of service, but using data, using analytical ability, using the high energies, having a more deeper eye, a keener eye, without being overawed by emotions, while letting go of the self, while nourishing others, while servicing others, with the perseverance, with the patience which is manifested by Saturn, helping others in their obstacles, in their upheavals, in their issues, and through that trying to attain moksha, which the Scorpio, Pisces and Cancer sign energies represent, is what the being born in the Scorpio ascendant means at a deeper level. And that is the manifestation of being born in the Scorpio sign. If you are born in the Sagittarius ascendant, then the 5th house and the 9th house energies are that of Aries and Leo respectively. Now the Sagittarius sign represents going out of the boundaries, breaking out, not being chained, being somebody who's ready to innovate, pushes the boundaries of innovation, finds solutions, looks at the lighter side of life, looks at the fun side of life, ready to explore, ready to make network, ready to move beyond the national boundaries, willing to understand working with other people from other tribes, with other regions of the world, other cultures of the world, and to serve and to do your duty with a dedication, using your higher learning and your higher qualification, and through that manifesting your karma is the energies of the Sagittarius ascendant. The 5th house energies being that of the Sanchita karma being represented by Aries sign means chasing innovation, chasing your duties with a high energy, with a goal setting energy, and with the leadership represented by the Leo sign of the 9th energies of the Prarabdha karma. And through leadership, through the goal setting energies and breaking boundaries, moving out of your comfort zone, working with people from other cultures and using your high learning, high education to do your duty. It's what at a high level the first, the fifth and the ninth house energies represent. However, check on what is the specific degree that you're born in the Sagittarius sign. Say if you're born in the 27th degree in the Sagittarius sign, then you will find that the 27th degree falls in the Purvashada Nakshatra. Then the complementing Nakshatra of the 5th house in the Aries sign is the Bharani Nakshatra ruled by Venus, and the corresponding Nakshatra in the Leo sign is the Purva Falguni represented by Venus respectively. Which means that while doing your duty, while using your high learning, high qualification and pushing the boundaries and working with other people, also ensure that you carry yourself with principles and values represented by the Venus, which rules the Taurus sign as well, and respecting the opposite gender, being willing to work with the opposite gender and treating others as equal, while also playing the balance between what you want and what others want. And while chasing materialism, while chasing intimacy, while chasing relationships, know that you have to do your duty represented by Sagittarius, using your high learning and with the goal setting and the drive that Aries represents and the leadership which Venus, the Leo sign represents, in manifesting your desires, in manifesting relationships, in manifesting how you attain your goals in life with a balance and willing to work with the opposite gender and in chasing life's the richer manifestations respectively. However, look at the deeper level where the 23rd degree of the Sagittarius sign falls. The 23rd degree in the Sagittarius sign in the Purvashada Nakshatra falls in the Libra sign. And so the corresponding pada of the Bharani Nakshatra also falls in the third pada represented by the Libra sign energies in Bharani, and in the Purva Falguni Nakshatra in the third pada represented by Libra, which means that while leading your life of innovation, pushing the boundaries represented by Sagittarius, doing your duty, using your higher learning and with the goal setting energies of Aries and with the leadership and the pride and the self-respect and the large-heartedness shown by Leo, also ensure that you play the balance between what you want, what other wants, and do it with the energies of establishing relationship with the Libra energies represent at a deeper level in the third pada of the three nakshatra respectively of Purvashada, of Bharani and Purva Falguni. And so through balance of relationship, through taking relationships along, through companionship, through teamwork, achieving the goals of Sagittarius at a deeper level, at a finer level, doing your duty with dedication, with leadership, with balance, with treating the opposite gender well, through relationship, is a deeper meaning of being born in the Sagittarius ascendant with the three nakshatra complementary energies being the energies of Purvashada, Bharani and Purva Falguni, and the Libra sign energies within the three nakshatras, and that is the deeper manifestation of being born in the Sagittarius ascendant. If you are born in the Capricorn ascendant, then the first house energies being that of Capricorn, being ruled by Saturn, means working with the dedication, loyalty, with organization, long hours, being committed, being loyal, not shirking your duty, being patient till results come to you, is what the Capricorn sign energies represent. But the 5th and the 9th house energies are represented by the Taurus and the Virgo signs respectively. Now, The 5th house is the house of Sanchita Karma and the 9th house is the house of Prarabdha Karma. So, while working with dedication, commitment and perseverance and within boundaries represented by Capricorn, but the principles and values of Taurus and the analytical ability, the perfect eye and the service orientation of Virgo is important. However, check what is the degree of the ascendant in which you are born. See, if you are born at the 12th degree in Capricorn, then the 12th degree in the Capricorn energies lies in the Shravana Nakshatra. Then the complementary 5th house energies in the Taurus sign of the Rohini Nakshatra ruled by moon and the Hasta Nakshatra moon ruled by the moon. So, being born in the Nakshatra ruled by moon in the Shravana Nakshatra in the Capricorn sign and having the complementary energies of Rohini Nakshatra also ruled by moon and the Hasta Nakshatra also ruled by moon, which means the nourishment, the care and the supportive energies and the emotional intelligence and using your higher mental ability and the choice giving energies of moon, and through that manifesting your responsibilities, your duties in an organized manner, working hard, working long hours with patience, with perseverance represented by Capricorn, and the principles and values of Taurus, and with the service orientation and with an analytical ability of Virgo is the deeper manifestation. However, at a more deeper level, the 12th degree, if you look at within the Capricorn sign in the Nakshatra of Shravan, falls in the first pada represented by Aries. So, the complementary energies in the Taurus sign will be the first pada of Rohini represented by Aries and the first pada of Hasta also represented by the Aries sign respectively. And thus, at the deepest meaning, being born in the Capricorn Nakshatra of the ascendant at the 12th degree means that having the Aries sign energies of the first pada, a goal-getting spirit with a nurturing, caring, supporting energies of the moon represented by the Shravan Nakshatra, the Rohini Nakshatra and Hasta Nakshatra, while doing a duty with commitment, with long hours in a structured and organized manner, with the principles and desires of Taurus, principles and values of Taurus, and the service orientation of Virgo with a commitment, deep commitment, and with an analytical ability, with a keen eye, with a curious eye represented by Virgo is a deeper manifestation, a deeper meaning of being born in the Capricorn ascendant. If you are born in the Aquarius ascendant, then the first house energies represented by Aquarius are the energies of larger societal challenges, larger societal issues, and working for the larger issues and larger concerns rather than at a self level or even at a neighborhood level or the city level, but looking much beyond the boundaries and looking at a world level, at a larger social level, the issues, the challenges that the world has, and trying and helping and contributing and solving them. With the commitment which Saturn represents by being the ruler of the ascendant, and with the 5th house energies of Gemini, which also represents your Sanchita Karma, and the 9th house energies of Libra, which represents your Prarabdha Karma. So the first 5 and 9 houses are represented by Aquarius, Gemini and Libra respectively, and these are the 3 Nakshatra energies which rule the overall meaning and manifestation of your life, being the Lagna, the sign of Sanchita Karma of the 5th, and the sign of the Prarabdha Karma represented by the 9th. So, using your dedication at a social level, at a world level, with the communication and the hard work and the self-enterprise of Gemini, and the relationship orientation and the balance in relationship and the win-win for both of the Libra energies is at a high level what the ascendant represents. But if you check the specific degree that you are born in, if you are born in the 20th degree of the Aquarius ascendant, then you will find that you fall in the Satabhishak Nakshatra, ruled by Rahu. Then the complementing Nakshatra at the 20th degree in the 5th house is the Artha Nakshatra, also ruled by Rahu, and the Swati Nakshatra, also ruled by Rahu, in the Libra sign of the 9th house. So which means that Rahu being your karma of the current world, of the current life, and where your focus and your attention should be, and having a deep passion and a deep hunger for achievement, which means have a very strong desire, a strong passion, and a complete blindness to achieve your goals, represented by the Aquarius energies, of solving larger society's challenges, using your communication and self-enterprise and hard work, represented by Gemini, and using your partnership and companionship and teamwork and relationships, represented by Libra. However, at a deeper meaning, at a deeper level, the 20th degree of Aquarius falls in the 4th pada of Satabhishak Nakshatra and of the Pisces sign. And so the complementing energies of the 5th house is the 4th pada of Ardhra Nakshatra, which is also has Pisces energies, and the 4th pada of Swati Nakshatra, also having the Pisces energies. The Pisces is the sign of letting go, of salvation, of moksha, of submission to the will of the supreme energy. And so at a deeper level, it means that solving the challenges of society, dedicating yourself to help others beyond your local neighborhood, beyond your city, beyond your state, but looking at yourself more at a world level, at a level of a world citizen, and helping and being sensitive to the challenges at a social level, at the larger humanity level, and blindly chasing with a deep hunger, with a deep passion, to achieve the direction of helping others at a social level, using the energies and the communication and the hard work of Gemini, and the relationship and the companionship and the teamwork of Libra, is what at the deepest level of being born in the 20th degree in the Satabhishak Nakshatra of the Pisces sign energies within the Aquarius ascendant. And that is the deeper meaning of being born in the Aquarius ascendant, being complemented with the 1st, 5th and 9th house energies and respective nakshatras and respective pada respectively. And that is the deeper meaning of being born in the Aquarius ascendant. And last but not the least, being born in the Pisces ascendant, which is a strong sign for giving up and submitting to the will of the Lord, and being on the cusp of salvation on moksha, and using your higher energies, your creativity, your imagination to achieve your karma, to achieve your duty, to do what your goal and your purpose of life is in this life. Then the 1st house energies being that of Pisces, the 5th and the 9th house energies respectively are the Cancer energies and the Scorpio energies respectively. And so the Cancer energies being the energies of nourishing, helping others, supporting others, and not going overboard on your emotions, but being emotional intelligent, using the choices that moon ruling Cancer gives you, and helping others in obstacles and in their issues and their problems, represented by Scorpio, and the deeper manifestation or the deeper meaning of life or issues and challenges which people are facing, is there at a deeper level, at a higher level, what the Pisces energies represent. So the individual has to submit to the will of the Lord while nourishing others, while supporting others in overcoming challenges, issues and obstacles, and through that trying to achieve salvation, trying to achieve the higher self, trying to elevate your soul at a higher level. Now if you look at the specific degree that you're born in within the Pisces ascendant, and say if you're born in the 7th degree of being born in the Pisces sign. Now the 7th degree of the Pisces sign falls in the Virgo, in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. ruled by Saturn. So the complementing 5th house energies of Cancer is the Pushya Nakshatra ruled by Saturn and the Anuradha Nakshatra also ruled by Saturn. So at a deeper level meaning, it means that using the organized, structured, dedicated, loyal, perseverance approached, patient-filled approach of Saturn, doing a duty of nurturing others, supporting others represented by Cancer, submitting to the will of the Lord represented by Pisces, overcoming and helping others overcome the issues and challenges and obstacles represented by Scorpio, and through that attaining salvation is at a deeper level. However, if you look at where the specific degree falls in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, you will find that the 5th degree of Pisces falls in the 1st Pada and represented by the Leo energies. So the complementary energies in the 5th house is the 1st Pada of Pushya, also represented by the Leo energies, and the 1st Pada of Anuradha Nakshatra, also represented by the Leo energies. The Leo energies is the energies of showing leadership, leading your life with pride and self-respect, of having a large heart, helping others attain their goals while you also attaining your goals, and using your leadership to lead others to their goals. And so at the deepest level, it means using the energies of Leo, the leadership, the goal orientation and the drive to achieve, and with self-respect, and using the organized, the structured, the loyal, committed, patience-filled approach of Saturn, of submitting to the will of the Lord represented by Pisces, and being grateful and using your higher energies and your imagination, and nurturing others represented by Cancer, supporting others, helping others in overcoming obstacles, upheavals, issues and challenges represented by Scorpio, is at the deepest level of what being born in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the area of Leo, being born in the Pisces Ascendant sign represents for a Pisces Ascendant native. And so if you are born in the Pisces Ascendant, use the 1st, 5th and 9th house energies of the Lagna, the Sanchita Karma and the Prarabdha Karma, and the specific Pada energies that you fall in, and using that find and manifest the deepest meaning of and the existence of life and the purpose of life for you if you are born in the Pisces Ascendant and the Pisces sign. And that is a deeper manifestation of being born in the Pisces sign. Now friends, that we have looked at all the 12 zodiac signs and how the complementing energies of the first 5 and the 9th houses by virtue of being the Lagna, the Sanchita Karma and the Prarabdha Karma respectively, and how we are chained in those energies basis which specific sign that we fall in and the specific nakshatra and the complementary nakshatras of the 5th and 9th house, and what the specific pada that we fall in will give a specific manifestation at the deepest meaning, how we need to lead our life, what karma we need to represent, and how overall we can manifest our karma. Please look into your own horoscopes, look into your ascendant specific degree, what specific nakshatra the ascendant is, which is different from the moon's nakshatra, what are the complementary nakshatras in the 5th and the 9th houses, what are the specific padas that the specific degree falls in, and what are the pada energies, and use that to manifest your karma and your life respectively. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation for me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.